What is up everybody, Bloodburger here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the latest, or should I say the first entry into the prestigious Gears of War series with Gears of War Judgment. Very few IPs reach the high title and praise that the Gears of War franchise is known for. Does Judgment continue to carry the flag, or does it fall short of the goal line? Let's dig in and see. Gears of War Judgment is a prequel to the franchise and takes place just after Emergence Day. The Locust Swarm have arrived and pose a terrible threat to civilization. COG Lieutenant Damon Baird and his Kilo squad have been tasked with eliminating the threat in a controversial manner. Judgment is the story of their encounter retold through the eyes and the voices of the 4 squad members. In Gears of War Judgment, you will be able to play as all 4 Kilo squad members in a 6-chapter and roughly 5-hour campaign mode. Lieutenant Damon Baird, Sophia Hendrick, Garen Paddock, and Private Augustus Cole. While each character does control the same way, you're given tons, and I mean tons, of ways to get rid of the Locust opposition. 2 different types of lancers, hammer shots, sniper rifles, grenade launchers, pistols, and assorted Locust weaponry to boot. On top of this, you'll be given the ability to use heavy weaponry such as mortars, mulcher miniguns, and scorcher flamethrowers. The controls, albeit somewhat cumbersome and heavy for the novice Gears player, should feel very familiar to someone who is more well versed with the franchise. You'll be able to roll, run, and use cover to keep yourself safe against wave after wave of Horde AI. While on the topic of AI, I do want to point out that your squad can be both a huge help and a hindrance at the same time. They're quick to get your back and dispose of enemies you might have missed, but the same willingness to kill causes them to bunch up and stack on top of one another, making it hard for the player to get his or her own shots off. Enemy AI is relentless for the most part, ducking, dodging, using cover in an attempt to kill you, and can be quite overwhelming if your squad is out of position and can't help you. There were a couple of times, however, where I noticed enemy AI wandering off in the opposite direction of a fight. Overall, the gameplay in Gears of War is quite solid, challenging but not frustrating, while remaining pretty fun to play due to the huge weapon selection that the player is given. Keep in mind, however, that this is mostly the Gears of War experience that you're used to, without anything innovative added to the mix. Judgment gets a solid 3.5 out of 5 for gameplay. The graphics and presentation in Gears of War titles have always been superb. The Unreal Engine was truly ahead of its time back when Gears 1 debuted, and Judgment follows suit. You'll find yourself stopping just to take in the amazing lighting effects and meticulously detailed environments. The character models, although certainly not the best I've ever seen, are incredibly realistic, and the Locust Horde are believably terrifying creatures. The nearly non-existent heads-up display gives the player only the critical information, with no visual clutter in sight. Menus are streamlined and integrate into the game quite well. My only complaint is when sorting through unlocks, the game opts to save after each selection, which kind of slows down the presentation slightly in that area. That, however, is just a tiny nitpick. Gears of War Judgment is a beautiful game and deserves a 4.5 out of 5 for visuals. The audio in Judgment is what you're used to in a Gears of War title. The sound of war is all around you. Explosions, gunfire, ambient noise, and squad chatter are all in there. However, the sound of the Horde hasn't changed at all. Boomers say boom. Grubs babble on with broken, indistinguishable phrases taken from English language, and boss monsters hiss and grunt under fire. While this is all good, it doesn't offer you anything that you haven't heard before. The character dialogue, however, is quite good, never seems corny or forced, keeping the overall dark mood of what's happening to them intact.
Pretend war? No.
If this wasn't the very first Gears title I'd ever played, I would definitely score this higher, but it isn't, so I can't. 3.5 out of 5. Gears of War Judgment is a good game. There's nothing groundbreaking happening here, but then again, Epic was so ahead of their time with this game and this series that there's really not too much improvement to be made. If you're a diehard fan of the series, you absolutely should rush out and grab this game. You really shouldn't be without it, but if this is your first Gears title, you might try a rental, play through it in an evening, and decide on whether or not to play the other 3 games. Personally, I enjoyed the game despite not being too great at it. The controls were kind of heavy, but even a Gears noob will find them forgiving enough. Gears of War Judgment receives a 4 out of 5. For a complete playthrough of Gears of War Judgment, please follow my second channel, Bonafide Gameplay. I'm Bloodburger, and thanks for watching.